Last orders at the bar, please.
Welcome to Tavern Tales, a curated 5e Dungeons & Dragons adventure set in the tales of the Yawning Portal campaign module by Wizards of the Coast.
Previously on Tavern Tales, Yasheria has her shield back, they've bested the fire snakes and held on to their sapphires, and now the Silverkins press on looking for a bugbear's wife, and at the heart of this dungeon, the one known as Balak.
Come sit down and drink with the enemy, raise a glass and toast to the enemy, and I'm not gonna do this on my own. So come sit down and laugh with the enemy, raise a glass and sing to the enemy, and I'm not gonna do this on my own. So I won't end up being alone, 'cause I won't drink my drink alone. So what about you? One beer or two, I'll drink to you.
Promised him a trade, and then you're gonna kill him with
If he gives me the wrong
timbers.
information.
But how are you need to give him the boots first?
Oriana, you've heard the snoring has stopped. Don't really hear anything else at the moment. However, from the chamber directly across from you, you see the door open further than it had before. Meanwhile, Drayden says,
As Drayden walks into the room to closer have the conversation, I'll look at Yasheria and be like, do I know if you speak Elven?
I don't think you do, but I do speak it.
come on, guys. What race is he?
He's human.
Okay, cool. Cut that. Cut that real quick.
I feel like if you're siblings, you'd know.
Yeah, I mean, I just quickly drop into Elven and I'm like, Yasheria, you should, what are you doing? Erky Timbers is...
More than capable of speaking Elven myself.
I know, I'm trying to prevent the goblins from understanding, assuming that they wouldn't be able to speak more than one language. Erky and I were having an excellent conversation about his mother, and you've interrupted that, and we're trying to just have a good conversation and get past this.
Erky has not stopped holding Yasheria's hand since she reached out, and he gazes up adoringly at Yasheria and he says, "You'd quite like to meet her. She'd like you."
Have you given him back his holy symbol, by the way?
I have not.
I would think that somewhere along the line from when you picked up your shield, that you would have given.
On our way back, I would have.
I mean, it's important to both of you. We're all just sitting at a table.
Oh, yeah.
I really doubt that you would have picked up your shield and been like, do, and Erky wouldn't have said anything, or you're that oblivious a person. That exchange has doubtlessly occurred, and he was very thankful that you used it in Pelor's name.
Nice.
Back to the moment at hand, though, with Erky's tiny hand in yours, as you use the other hand to hold aloft a pair of magical boots.
Erky, dearest, we're going to exchange the boots for information from these goblins. However, if we find out that the information that they gave us is false or puts us into any peril, we shall return here, and I shall let you do with these goblins as you wish.
Well, as long as your spiritual weapon is employed as well, I would be honored to participate.
Then so it shall be.
Or may the green blood run free.
Drayden's just like,
Meanwhile, which translates, of course, to Yasheria. Girl, what you playing at?
I take the boots that I was holding above his head, or wherever, and I lower them down and I give them to him.
Oh, damn, I was like, drop them on him. That would have been funny. Okay, you're such a nice person. You lower the boots down. He takes them, just holding them as you're holding them, makes good, long eye contact with you. You telling me my mom's alive still?
She's alive.
I don't know how you got her boots, bae, but that's a story I'm going to ask you later. So he tucks the boots, moves to go past you, enters the room that all are in, heading towards that door you guys came in to go up the shaft.
But I grab him before he leaves.
Okay, so you reach out, grab him. One hand holding Erky Timbers, the other hand holding Gilthrax's
shirt.
His
jerkin.
His hand is really the available thing to grab when you reach out to grab it. Torn between two worlds.
I am trusting you with this information that you gave us.
What else you want to know, girl?
You have given us the correct location of Balak?
Yeah, babe, I gave you it all. I'd be willing to give it all later. I mean, I'm on the second floor, third house from the left. Got me a sweet pallet. Super sweet. fit you and then some.
No, that's all right. I'm trusting you with this information that you've provided us.
You're missing out. But if there's nothing that I didn't tell you what you needed to know, then sweetness, you come find me. We'll talk all night long. Gilly got it going all night long.
That's all for now.
You bet. All 3.5 inches for now.
That's funny. I've never seen Aaron so uncomfortable.
He leaves with, do you let go of his hand?
Yes.
Erky Timbers clutches your hand more tightly as Gilthrax leaves with your boots.
We're such a weird team.
However, this interchange has not gone unnoticed. But before we get to that, I will now present you with both a blue and a white mote.
Ooh.
For the torture you have just experienced. And for electing to give up your boots, which you had spent a white mote on. So here you go.
Thank you.
Now, at this point, you're about to enter combat again.
Oh, shit.
Well, can I ask a question?
You bet.
So I was still facing outside when they were
Oh, yeah.
in the room.
You're facing however you want. Yeah.
And I noticed...
You definitely heard the slumbering stop, and you noticed the door to the south creep open a little bit.
Right. So at any point, could I have warned them that... Or did I not really have an opportunity?
Well, you will have an opportunity to warn them. No one is going to be caught under surprise here. The doors that are opening are the ones directly in front of you to the south, as well as that northwestern one, the door you passed. No other doors open than those two. One goblin in leather armor carrying a short sword steps through that door, and from the other door where there was snores and sleeping, 3 goblins in leather armor carrying short swords. One of them has a light crossbow. Step through that door.
Now, is it possible to say that Drayden didn't yell out Yasheria and didn't cause noise to wake and notify these goblins behind the doors?
Absolutely, you could do that. 4 goblins for 3 level 3 characters
I guess we're
really
not
easy.
bad.
is not a threat.
We can
yeah.
we can smack them with the backsides of our blades
It's
and like
cheaper for you.
Okay. I forgot we were level 3.
It's also cheaper for you to just drop sleep or a level 1 spell than it is to spend a white mote.
Oh, yeah, I have sleep. Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Your sleep spell could definitely target all 4. I'll let you have advantage on initiative. These 4 goblins step out. 2 of them yawn just like Aaron did just now, but they're all readying their weapons to attack. So I'll get initiative from everybody as Oriana definitely lets everyone know that this is happening. No one is caught surprised. Everyone knows you're in a dangerous situation. So get everyone here to roll initiative against 4 goblins in armor, with Oriana having advantage.
Natural 20.
4.
That makes sense. Drayden.
12.
Goblins have a 10, and just to mess around, the goblin with the crossbow has an 18, just to mix it up. The Mephits got a
They won't be a part of this.
not applicable. Okay, Oriana, you of course, the most aware of everything that's going on, cast your spell.
Okay, so 1 goblin was in front of us.
Right,
And 3 goblins were to the right of us?
Yep.
How far away?
20 feet total. What's the range on sleep?
Oh, right, I'm casting sleep.
Oh, you can do whatever you want. Sorry, if you didn't want to cast sleep, what were you thinking about doing?
So that we don't have to deal with them later, I'm actually going to cast Shatter on the 3 to
Okay,
the right.
kill a bunch of goblins?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a Constitution saving throw.
And if they succeed at the Constitution saving throw?
They succeed. Creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a fail save and half on a
Yeah.
success.
Roll your 3d8. Just in case.
9.
9 points of damage. One of them has managed to save. I'll say he was in the doorway and he wasn't caught by the shatter in as much. But mortars and pestles, bowls, dishes, one of the wooden workstations just completely blow up into splinters and fragments within this 10 foot by 10 foot sphere, I do believe, of devastation that shatter causes. What is the somatic and verbal component to shatter? It's the hand gesture and words you use for this spell.
She brings both hands up in front of her and shoots them forward, kind of like a Dragon Ball Z action.
Yeah, her standard action. Yeah.
Yeah, and her spell casting is typical. It's a typical chant, and it's like and then it shoots from her hands.
What's the word though? You go and then you use some sort of verbal component, which is what?
Oh, it's always been chanting.
That was for those others. This is a level 2 spell. This is more complicated. Got to get into it. What is
Gotta do some pelvic thrusting with it.
Absolutely. All right, the verbal component we'll come back to. It is now the crossbow goblin's turn, and he was the one in the doorway, so he will shoot at Oriana with his crossbow. What is your armor class, Oriana?
15.
He has hit you with his crossbow. He does 4 points of damage to you, brutally shooting you in the upper bicep of your left arm. That was his turn. It is now Drayton's turn, followed by the other goblins.
All right, I'm gonna leave the room and approach the goblins.
On the single goblin or the 3?
The single goblin, and use Calcrix and just say, all right, sweetie, take it easy on them, and just try to flat the blade to the goblin's head. Just trying to knock him out.
Absolutely.
17.
You hit.
This is cold damage.
You reroll those 2s?
Yeah, I'm going to reroll the 1, 2. 18 damage. I'm just trying to subdue.
Calcrix cries out, "Not on my watch!" and leaves a horrible, nasty frostbite patch where the blade hits the goblin. Thankfully, because this is Dungeons and Dragons, we can apply that damage first, and then the rest of the flat of the blade lifts the goblin off his feet and flings him eastward down the room, sliding it until his head conks hard into one of those marble columns, and he lies there unconscious.
All right.
The short sword and his boots are left where you hit him.
I basically baseball swung him with the flat of the blade. That's amazing. I'm going to ask second wind to heal some damage.
Sure. All right.
Thank you.
Roll that up whilst we move on to the other goblins, followed by Yasheria, who is just torn with love and lust in her heart, knowing and remembering second floor, third one down. That's where Gilly lives. All right, goblins attack Oriana. One of them has hit you, and he does 4 points of damage to you with his short sword.
How are you doing?
I'm at 14.
Okay.
They cry out at you in gobbly, but you don't understand what they're saying. But Yasheria, whose turn it is, does hear them. And basically, they're like, kill the effing spellcaster, damn dirty tiefling. And then the one guy's like, I know, she's kind of hot. And the guy at the crossbow's like, you have disgusting taste, gerbil. What would you like to do with your turn?
Scorching Ray. And there's 3 that are up. 1 is unconscious.
The one that's unconscious is way off to the east. There is 3 that have come out of this room. One of them is standing in the doorway. The other 2 have been rended by shatter.
13, 12, and 11.
All right, the 13 hits.
7 damage. Fire damage.
He'd already been rended by the shatter. He did not look well. It looked like the shatter actually broke one of his leg bones, and the scorching ray finishes him off, hitting him squarely in the chest, knocking him backwards. He bowls over. His leather armor is charred and ruined. The short sword is flung backwards, goes by the head of the crossbow carrying goblin back into the room they were all sleeping in. But he has died, and that in fact was Gerbil.
The one who thought I was attractive.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. It's like Yasheria deliberately made sure that he didn't stand a chance. It is once again the top of the round, Oriana.
Okay, so the one off to the east is...
He might not have all of the intelligence he had when he was awake before.
And there's just the 2 now?
Correct. One with the crossbow and the other guy that got shattered.
I'm going to use Chromatic Orb.
Oh my. Another first level. Oh wait, what was the word that you said from shatter?
Shatirisi.
That's gorgeous color. Now make a wild magic roll, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh boy.
You're fine.
That was such
it's
a
only a
fluke.
5% chance.
Oh, 5.
All right, fine.
God.
Be that way. You have your advantage returned to you, which you had not even used anyway. And please make sure you write down that awesome word for posterity, so the next time you cast Shatter, you can just say it,
That's pretty cool.
and we will delight in your color. With that, it is now your actual turn for this turn. What would you like to do?
I had to remind myself it was kind of Frenchish. I'm going to cast Ray of Frost.
Sure, go for it. Against who?
Because I want to try this. I'm actually going to use Twin Spell.
Okay, you're going to use a meta magic feat, spending a meta magic point,
Yes.
and twin it to hit the same target, or I guess it has to hit two different targets, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to aim for the
All right,
two
do
that
it
are
up.
still standing.
Roll.
First, I need to see if it hits.
Do you want to have advantage on either of those?
No, because I only get that once per. Because I only get that back if you call for wild magic or if there's a long rest, right?
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
don't
roll it up
think
then.
Maybe I should have.
And roll the other one, the other attack.
For the second hit.
Because you twin casted.
Because it's a different attack roll. Like you have to
Oh,
aim
right.
it against somebody else. So
Okay, 14.
that hits, roll your damage.
6.
The other shattered goblin dies a frigid and cold death, longing for warmth, heat, and a vacation somewhere tropical. Much like all of us, his doldrum days were spent at a desk doing unimportant work for management that didn't care about him.
His cubicle was very sad.
In a 6 foot by 6 foot space, working with people who never understood him or appreciated him. And the love of his life doesn't even know he exists, as she sits upstairs in Goblinville, pining over her missing boots.
Oh.
Awkward.
But the goblin with the crossbow tells you to go fuck yourself in Gobbly. Actually, no. He tells you to go fuck yourself in Infernal,
Oh.
which is a language you know.
Yeah, it sure is.
But you're very sure that this is like he hung out with a foreign exchange student who knew Infernal and taught him the awful, horrible swears in that language. He doesn't actually know anything else in Infernal, just how to say a swear word or 2 or 8.
That's funny.
How rude.
So he will shoot at you, Oriana, and he will hit you. What's your armor class again is?
15.
Yes, he definitely hits you again, rending you for another 4 points of damage from another crossbow bolt. This one to your midsection.
Kind of happy I didn't put him to sleep. These guys are little pricks. They don't deserve to live.
That was the crossbow goblin, leading us to Drayden's turn.
So I have a quick question. The first door that we passed, did we see anybody leave that door?
The very first door to the
was
northwest.
The snoring person.
That was the snoring door. That's where the goblins came out.
Oh, okay.
And one other goblin came out from the
From the one
south
that's across.
central door.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to blade flat this other goblin.
Okay, so you're going to cross over to him.
Yeah.
He is more than 30 feet away.
Oh, all right. Okay, then I'm going to action surge and get all the way there and smack him.
All right, you'll use your movement. You
Yeah.
use your action surge to move again
Yeah.
and then take an attack.
Yeah. All right. 13.
That is a hit.
Okay, I'm like, Calcrix, just calm. I'm just trying to knock him out. Well, that's 8, 13, and then plus 3 is 16. So maybe these 3 first, and then the 13.
He slumps to the ground. Crossbow falls limply from his grasp. Bolt fires from it and hits Oriana as it falls, brutally maiming her for how many hit points do you have left? No,
I was like, seriously?
but a crossbow does fly out near you, but not anywhere near hitting you. Like a wild throw in when you're standing at first base in baseball. He's standing in the doorway, and then Drayden crosses over, and he's no longer standing in the doorway, and he's lying the wrong way on a bunk 8 feet into the room they're in. And you look into the room, and it's got 16 pallets and cots laid out. There's no one in there but Sleepy Goblin at this point.
And I say, go to sleep.
As he lands on the bed, his head slumps forward in a pseudo nod that you take as agreement.
And not at all that it broke his neck when I sent him flying.
You're not sure if he is still alive. You did so much damage, and he'd already taken damage from the shatter that you may have doubled his hit points and killed him in one blow.
I tried to not kill him.
Sure.
Just back away slowly.
Just like close the door.
And Calcrix laughs in your mind with delight at all of this violence and the theft of warmth.
I'm going to put her away.
She laughs still in your mind, on your back, and is like, "We did it!" The door to the southwest is closed, but was not closed before.
Ruh-roh.
Combat has assuredly ended. Half of the goblins are very dead. The other half of the goblins are possibly dead. Gilthrax has left, and while you can't see it, the storyteller tells the tale where Gilthrax puts on his mother's boots and levitates up the shaft and walks right out of the entire dungeon because he hated his mother in the first place. And went on to fame and glory as the levitating goblin in the Silverin Stapes Circus.
Of course he did.
I'd like to confirm. So the threat that you made with Erky Timbers, how are you planning to go attack him?
No comment.
We're such a weird party.
Loridal hides in the room that you looked in before, Yasheria. He does not come out. You know he's there. You can still actually see him, but you've left the room at this point. Nothing has transpired from either the north or south furthest east doors.
I'm going to go take a quick peek east door.
Sure, you have a quick boo in the northeast door. Is anybody looking the southeast door whilst Drayden is doing that?
Sure, I'll look in the southeast door.
Sure. At the same time, you both see exits from this laboratory. Drayden, you see in the northeast chamber, it is just an extra weapons storage that has a whole bunch of battered scimitars and shitty short bows with a lot of arrows, but there is a door on the east wall that is closed, and you, Yasheria, look in upon a empty room. It is completely empty and devoid of life, but there is a hole on the back southern wall that leads to a natural rift in the earth.
The rift. I'm going to go and open the other door that's in the weapons room.
Are you really? Yeah, you just
Oh, no, I'm not
moving
gonna,
on without
I'm
your
gonna
party
just come
around
back.
your...
No, I'm going to come back and say, hey, there's another door in here. But we should check what's in the door that was closed in the southwest door first.
Okay. Yasheria, what are you doing?
I'll leave my room. Just let
Okay, you
everyone
leave
know.
your room to come back. You reconnoiter with Oriana in the main room. Drayden joins you as well.
Yasheria, did you find anything out from those other goblins, like where we're going, if there was a certain door we have to go through?
We need to find a set of stairs and a library.
Did he say which direction to go or any what led to the stairs?
No, wasn't very clear.
So you traded your boots for that?
My legal team has advised me I don't have to answer that question.
All right.
I think we should check out the southwest door first. And if that one doesn't go well, then the weapons room.
Is that the one that's closed?
Yeah.
Like the one that was open and then closed after?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there might be something in there. Okay. So we want to check out the southwest door first.
You walk over to the closed door.
Yeah.
The door, there's something blocking the door.
Is it locked?
No, you can actually open the door about an inch or so, and then it gets...
Something's in the way.
You can definitely start to push on the door much harder, but there's something in the way of the door that's impeding it from opening nicely.
So it's very possible there was another goblin in that room, and then when the fight broke out, they closed the door and tried to barricade themselves so we don't kill them like we did all of the others.
Yeah, but if that's the way to the library, we have to check it out, or the stairs.
We could check the other rooms first.
Well, we have the other way, which is the weapons room, and there was another door right here. And we haven't actually looked in here, but I guess it's another barracks because there was snoring, right?
Yeah, so I say we just leave the other barracks room, I guess. And we'll just go through the one with the impeded door.
There is a door in this
there is
room.
a door in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the weapons room.
Do you want to check it out first?
Yeah, let's check out that one.
Before I body slam you and I body slam that door. Okay, so we're going to go check out the weapons room door first.
As you trod away, the door that you just opened a little bit closes again, and you head to that door. You give it a check out. It does not appear to be trapped or locked or blocked in any way, shape, or form. It opens to a touch upon a very small room that is 10 feet by 10 feet in total. There is a door directly opposite the door that you have gone in. This door is also closed. There is a great many footsteps through this chamber, but there is a great amount of refuse and dust and whatnot lining the edges. So just the 5-foot passageway between the two doors is well trafficked. The doors open on well-oiled silent hinges, but the room itself looks like a passageway from one area of the citadel to another area of the citadel. Perhaps this was a choke point historically within the citadel, or a important secretary sat here and only allowed certain individuals between one area and the next. Nonetheless, the specific use and reason for this room is lost to the annals of time, for it is not numbered nor described in the book at all.
Did the footsteps look human-sized or goblin-sized?
It's not.
Oh, they're just...
It is a well-worn path that is devoid of... It's like a lot of footprints have gone through here. People travel back and forth through here a lot. There's no real footprints.
Okay, check out the next door.
Exactly. You open that door, though. Nodules of luminescent fungus hang from the ceiling and walls and grow in clumps on the flagstone floor. The light illuminates portions of grand bas-relief carvings on the stone walls that aren't covered with the fungus. The carvings depict dragons in various stages of raining fire down upon terrified people. Soil and compost cover half of the chamber's floor, which allows a variety of feeble plants to grow. A bench containing simple gardening implements stands along the west wall. You hear the sounds of movement to the south, to your right, as you have opened up into a gigantic chamber that stands 20 feet or so, and there is a wall right there with a door in the middle. But as you peer around, you see a chamber stretch what could be 80 feet long that has a door at the one end, and it widens at one point in the middle, stretching around two corners.
I say, Virus, your mate has sent us, Balsag, to come and fetch you home.
The sound of movement stops.
Yeah. He says he misses your gentle touch. And
You hear the sound, while it is not a common sound, nor a sound that you probably should be able to determine or discern. For some reason, you hear and know that it is a trowel that has fallen upon a stone floor. And you hear a voice say, "Why, I do declare."
we mean you no harm. We're here to deliver a message.
Who are you now?
I, my dear lady, am Drayden Silverkin the Fox. And these are my siblings, Yasheria and Oriana. And
You step through the door.
yeah.
Coming around the corner, you see this gigantic room. You see a figure hastily standing, their back to you. The trowel lies upon the floor as it looked like they were smearing compost and dirt in further creating what used to be a grand hall, turning it more into a yet more farmland deep underground for Balak's purposes. The figure turns. You catch the glimpse of dirty petticoats swirl. They are wearing a large leather smock. She has in her hand a shovel that she's recently picked up. It might be a rake. You're not really too certain, given that it is in the dirt. The leather smock has a whole bunch of saplings, little sprouts to be planted. There's a long furrow that has been created, and that's what looks like the individual was putting things in with the trowel. She's wearing a garish red lipstick.
She a bugbear?
And is assuredly a female bugbear.
Okay.
She fans herself. The sleeve of her brown homespun dress has a small amount of lace trim at the edging of it, and she's wearing flower-patterned gardening gloves and a pair of red gardening clogs.
She sounds adorable.
And she says, "Y'all have met with my husband?"
Yeah, we had a lovely stew
Yeah.
and a conversation.
"I don't see rat bites on y'all or crossbow pointing wounds coming from your flesh. And yet you tell me the same thing my husband always is asking for and always saying."
He sent us to find you and to ask you to come back to the...
Now, howsoever did my husband, that beast of a man, Balsag, how did he go about having a pleasant conversation with y'all that ended up with neither he nor ye dead?
He was very kind to us, and we did bestow upon him a gift.
He seems worried about the current employment arrangement.
I do declare, you are the strangest adventurers I ever did truck with. She walks towards you. She drops the shovel. Doesn't seem to have a weapon in hand. Trowel laying on the ground. She comes towards you. She is much bigger than her husband. She looks strong, capable, attractive, if Torin were here. This is the sort of lady Torin would be. All over, loves a pretty face. You can see that she spent some time on her eyeshadow and her eyeliner today, although the sweat and the dirt has smudged it a bit. She walks up, looks at all of you with a polite expression, and she says, "So y'all here to kill Black?"
Depends on if he's willing to have a conversation. We're looking for 3 adventurers that we heard were dragged down here to find out what happened to them and to, if they're still alive, return them to their mother.
Well, you don't say.
Yes, I do say.
Well, that's nice.
Will you return to Balsag? He wishes to speak with you, convince you to leave.
I have another 6 hours of work here in front of me today. He goes about doing his own thing. I don't say nothing. He tends the fire. He makes the food. Bed is sometimes made when I get home. It's a good job we got here, though. But his bitching and moaning, complaining, you'd think he'd rather be in Cragmaw Castle or something.
He seems to really want to, not that a career woman like yourself is in any sort of rush, but seems to really want to settle down with you and raise little baby bugbears.
Wow, now I don't see why he has much of the say in that.
No, that's true, but he asked us to deliver the message.
Am I not right?
I suppose you could be right in some sense.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything anymore. I'm just like,
You're the only penis in this conversation.
I know. It's yeah. I take a step back and I just like cross my arms and wait.
I've got a job to do here. Very busy job. I'm certain my husband, as kind as he was to y'all, he painted a probably very different picture from what is going on here.
What are you trying to do here?
Well, the work of the Grand Master, of course.
Right, the Grand Master.
Oh, you've heard of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
That is a lie. Roll your
I don't-
deception check.
right, the Grand Master.
I was like, I've called him that before. I almost bought your deception check, but I'm not picking up what
All
you're
right.
putting down today.
15.
That is reasonable enough that she believes that you have
I've heard the word.
you grand at chess. Yeah.
Yes, the Grand Master.
I tell you, the book Belak is writing right now, and the changes he's going to create on the upside world, it's going to be a marvelous place for bugbear and goblinoid kind. Y'all have had too much power for too long, and it's time some of it got rightly put back in our hands. 'Cause I'll tell you, goblin lives matter.
Hashtag Goblin Lives Matter. We've had this conversation before, I feel like. Was it Kobold Lives Matter?
Eudrail was the same way.
No, it sounds like interesting and fruitful work.
No, I caught that pun. No, I did. Well, let me tell you, y'all are welcome to go on down and have a conversation with Black, but it's just 3 of you. I don't see you living through it too long. I mightily recommend that you head on back the way you came, and if you do, you stop by my husband and you tell him he better have dinner on for 6, because I'm gonna be home right away. It's not that far a walk. We got a pretty cushy here right now. And as long as Durin upstairs doesn't do nothing stupid, everything's gonna go right as rain for us.
Apologies, milady, to interrupt, but what if, say, Dern had done something stupid?
And was no longer upstairs.
Well, what do you mean by stupid? He went and fall down the shaft?
Kinda.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Well, I do declare. And she fans herself with one hand.
Yes, mercy me.
Oh my, I don't know nothing about tending no garden. I don't know why I decided this line of work was for me. If Dern ain't around no more to be telling the goblinoid kind what to do and Granel's back in charge, that does change things a mite bit.
Well, Dern is dead, so...
She seems to believe that pretty wholeheartedly.
And Grenel is back in charge.
I don't know this goblinoid. That does change things a bit. But you know what? I think I'm just going to continue with my job here, continue with my labors here. I see the way of Belak, and I see the potential of his golden dream. But if y'all go on down and kill Belak, well, I guess I can just head on home or find a new home with me husband, layabout though he is. So in the end of the day, you dispatch Belak, I'll find me a new line of work. You don't, and y'all succumb to his malevolent and maniacal schemes, well, I ain't done lost me no job.
Thank you for your time. We're happy to have delivered the message.
That's true.
Is it
very
just
true?
through that door? As Drayden points to the door on the other end of the...
She directs you to the north.
Okay. What's down the other door?
Oh, you don't want to know about that?
I mean, I'm interested in all sorts of things. You were never into gardening before this, and look at you now. Perhaps
It's just my work.
What kind of work?
Now you seem awful curious for some reason.
I just like to learn new things.
Right then.
Now, I am curious, with you working so close with Balak, have you seen other adventurers come through here?
Oh, sugar, I don't work close with Balak. I work here. This is my job as the gardener of the arboretums.
And also in the other room.
I did say arboretums.
Oh, okay.
So that's a no to seeing any other adventurers?
Oh, yeah, no, a few things got carried in here parcel-like, but that was quite some time ago now.
Where did those parcels get put?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that, honey.
Can we quickly go check in the other door?
She starts to get like a messing with my workspace
Okay.
expression.
Fine. We'll go speak with Black. Thank you.
And she has definitely pointed you to the north.
Yeah.
Go to the north door. Doesn't seem inclined to want to let you anywhere near any of the other doors. And there's one directly to the south, there's one to the east, and one to the north. She directs you to that door to the north with disinterest in letting you go through any of the others. So what do you choose to do at that point?
Might as well go through the door she
Sure.
supposed to go through.
You turn to go. She's right there with you. You open the door. She points all the way down a long hall. And she says, you're going to need to go through the door all the way down there at the other end. It's another 80-foot former grand hall that's been yet turned into yet another feeble arboretum and gardening location. There's compost and topsoil everywhere. Little plants growing in dim fungus light. And she says, the door to the north. That's where you want to go. Do not go through that door to the east.
Why shouldn't we go through the door to the east?
Because I done told you to, dear.
Am I able to persuade her to tell me?
Well, how would you like to persuade her to tell you?
Yeah, I got nothing.
All right. Then you can just make a roll. But you have disadvantage.
So roll both and then it's the lowest, right?
Yeah. You could choose to have advantage on that, and then you just get to roll one die.
You just really want me to use that, don't you? No, that's okay. 16.
Sugar, you dispatch Balak, you come on back here. I'll tell you everything that's going on here. But I ain't not going to interrupt the master's experiments and interrupt all the things that are going on here just at your whim and casual curiosity.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
Is the library this way?
Well, it ain't no real library, as well.
But a place he stores. Is there a staircase?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
That way. You definitely find your way.
Well, shall we proceed?
Sure.
All right.
I bow to her and say goodbye and hope to see her
She stands at the
again.
doorway, closes the door behind you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Good luck, y'all. Closes the door. You head north. As you approach the door to the north, a gloom descends upon you. You feel the weight of the adventure you've undertaken so far. All the death and goblinoid conversations you've had. And As you reach out for the handle, the lights grow dim, the edges of everything grows fuzzy, the weight of the world seems to bear down upon you.
Ruh-roh.
As though a chapter was closing. And the bartender at the Yawning Portal says, "Last call. Doors close in 15. You'll have to pick up your tail another time." As we will continue our adventure next time.
Wow. That was really good.
Can we have a long rest in this hallway?
GG.
Because I'm going to need it.
You hate me.
Raise a glass and drink with the enemy. Raise a glass and sing with the enemy. And I'm not gonna do this on my own. And raise a glass and toast to the enemy. Raise a glass and sing to the enemy. And I'm not gonna do this on my own.
This concludes this episode of Tavern Tales, a curated Dungeons & Dragons 5e game set in the Tales of the Yawning Portal adventure module by Wizards of the Coast. Our intro and outro music is the song Tavern Tales by the Bad Billy Band. You can find out more about the Bad Billy Band on iTunes or at www.badbillyband.com or follow them on Twitter at badbillyband. Thanks for listening. Please feel free to leave us a review on iTunes or find us on Twitter at tavern_tales. We'll be back next week with more of the adventure.